Everybody, welcome back. Hi.
Hey.
We're here.
Yeah,
Hello.
And it's time to talk about the news.
Holy.
So I'm just going to kind of give a little thing up top here at the news here that maybe this is weird. I don't know. We are pretty fast and loose with language around here.
Yeah.
In a way that, like, I don't think that this is necessarily on the other side of the line for us to talk about or whatever in an explicit context, but there's just something about it that just is so skeevy to me that I feel the need to kind of just say, we're going to talk about some porn stuff here. That maybe you'll find gross or maybe you'll find hot. I don't want to judge. Right. It is what it is, but okay, let's get into it.
Yep.
So, Gearbox, the developers of such games as Borderlands and Alien Colonial Marines and that Half-Life
Duke Nukem Forever.
Duke Nukem Forever, sure, have found themselves in another weird situation where the former general counsel, so this is, Ars Technica's done some reporting on this, Kotaku's done some reporting on this, a lot of this some of it happened on Twitter, there's just, it was all over the place, I think, as of like Friday.
Yeah.
But this is stuff that I guess happened in late December. There was a suit filed December 21st. There was a countersuit, or anyway, the allegations here.
Yeah, get me back up to speed here. So what was this?
Okay, so the timeline of events. Gearbox sued Wade Callender, who was the former general counsel of the studio. And looking back in Twitter, as they dug up kind of old tweets from Randy Pitchford, makes it sound like that Wade Callender and Randy Pitchford were close for a good long time, which makes this personal, and maybe that's why some of this stuff got filed. It just, some of it is brutal in a way that you're just like, what the fuck? Anyway, they sued Wade Callender for fraud. No. Okay. This is the first thing that happened.
They sued him.
They filed a suit against Wade Callender for fraud and breach of fiduciary duty.
That is a word.
And the allegation there was that Callender borrowed money from Gearbox for a home loan and tuition that he did not pay back in full. And that the quote here that Kotaku has is, he abused the privilege of credit card access by charging unapproved wholly personal expenses, including family vacations, gun club memberships, and firearms accessories.
Gun club memberships?
And trying to get six-pack abs.
Wait, Callender's getting ripped.
That's right. He's getting ripped on the company dime.
2018, I got a six-pack and a rifle. Come at me.
Wade makes a dime, Randy makes $1. That's why he gets the six-pack abs to make everybody holler. That's how that goes, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know.
That's surely as weird as this story gets, Jeff, right?
Yeah, that's it. No, and they also accused Callender of destroying some evidence around the home loan agreement, and
that's a serious thing.
Especially
he's general counsel. That's a lawyer, right?
That's a lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah. So he himself should know the repercussions of such an action.
So then Wade Callender then filed a countersuit against Gearbox.
Boom! You activated my trap card.
Yeah. And this is where it gets okay. So that starts with he's alleging that Randy Pitchford set up a situation in 2016 where he could get $12 million in a secret executive bonus.
What?
That was paid directly to a company called Pitchford Entertainment Media Magic LLC, which was
sorry.
It's weird because I don't know that that doesn't sound great, but also it doesn't sound necessarily illegal depending on how it got.
I suppose. But
I don't know what, like, the stuff that's getting brought up here seems like intensely personal in a fucking, oh, you're gonna sue me for this stuff. Check this shit out.
Yeah.
Sort of way. But I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know how this aspect of it works. Maybe he's trying to set up a situation where it's like, yeah, maybe I got six-pack abs, but the head of the company's doing. I don't know what the.
Yeah.
This seems like a very scorched earth sort of deal.
This seems like a vengeful, like, I will burn down all bridges.
Yeah. And so there's the $12 million thing.
Yeah.
And the statement in the lawsuit is like, this is particularly tragic exploitation because these millions are being siphoned to Randy Pitchford's personal accounts instead of funding the development of Borderlands.
That's pretty fucked up.
That's that doesn't look great.
Yep, not a good look for
not a great look at
magic
all.
Company.
The man's a literal magician.
Made the money disappear.
Just gonna say that up front. And I don't know. Okay,
keep going.
So I'll keep going, and this is why. Okay, well, yeah. So the other allegation is something that apparently happened in 2014 involving a USB drive that was left in a Dallas, Texas restaurant.
What kind was
containing sensitive documents about Gearbox. We'll get there. Okay. He left a USB drive in a medieval times,
full of company info. So irresponsible.
Full of company information. Full of privileged information. Yeah. And the allegations here are that it dealt with its partners like 2K and Sega and Sony, Microsoft. Like stuff that was like, hey, that would be damaging to more than just Gearbox if that information was out there.
Yeah, is
what the allegation is. And also, the lawsuit states that the USB drive also contained, and I'm just gonna. This is Randy Pitchford's personal collection of underage pornography.
Okay.
Is what the lawsuit.
That's what the lawsuit
says. Okay, this is where Ars Technica kind of tags in with some additional information, and
why would that USB drive leave his possession at a medieval time?
There's more. Back up further. Why would that USB drive have both of those things on it? Is my first question.
Okay, so all right, let's go down this road. I guess I have a USB stick that I keep on a keychain. People lose their keys all the fucking time.
Yeah. Sure. Do you have company secrets and underage pornography on it?
You shouldn't.
No.
Don't answer that question. Actually, as your counsel, I am advising you to not answer that question.
In the past, I have had one of those two things on the USB stick.
Okay.
And it was not illegal. But there have been cases where hey, sometimes people lose things that are confidential and valuable, and sometimes shit happens.
Totally.
Sometimes people see stuff off that, sometimes people lose a USB stick.
One or the other.
I stole this USB stick that I have, honestly.
Don't put both on the same drive.
So... Ars Technica then did some digging and found a podcast from last year, from December 22nd, which was the day after the lawsuit was filed. This podcast on the subject of magic was released, and Ars dug this up. And then also, according to this Kotaku story, around the same time that Ars Technica published that story, a Gearbox spokesperson emailed that podcast to Kotaku. So keep in mind, this is something. This is Gearbox saying, "Hey, here's the thing."
It's not as bad as it sounds,
and it's not. Well, okay. If you take,
still pretty gross.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying this is Gearbox reasoning, probably.
I guess the other portion of this lawsuit actually that is in our story is that that the Wade Callender alleges that Pitchford siphoned Gearbox profits to fund parties thrown by Pitchford and his wife. And the suit describes these parties as gatherings where adult male guests have reportedly exposed themselves to minors to the amusement of Randy Pitchford.
That is fucked up.
Yes, that is fucked up.
Hey, kids.
And
so tell me about the podcast.
Me pull a rabbit out of my pants.
So the podcast is Randy Pitchford's explanation. Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of scrolling through these news stories. I didn't have time prior to the show to assemble clean notes. And so yes, something called the Piff Pod, which is not about weed like you'd think it would be.
No.
Oh yes, that Piff. All right.
Would that be the Spliff Pod? I don't know. I don't know.
Jason, I'm not going to get into this right now.
Okay.
So the Piff Pod. It's a podcast about magic, and again, keep in mind this was released a day after the suit was filed. And Pitchford is a guest on the show where he talks about porn he enjoys watching, is how the Ars Technica article puts it, including cam girl pornography. And I think I don't know that I need to.
How does this casually come up in a magic podcast? Piffy's.
I thought about going and listening to it to get the full context of like how they got into this story, because I doubt it was like, hey, a lawsuit was filed and here's what I'm.
Exactly.
This sounds more like, oh shit, this lawsuit was filed. I'm going to get out there and record what really happened here, so that when this comes up in a month or two, we can point back to it.
Okay.
That's what this looks like to me. But again, I did not go back and listen to the podcast for myself. I thought about it and then realized like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can. I don't think I need to hear. I don't think I want to hear this.
I don't want to hear Randy talk about this.
So we know what a cam girl is, right? Yes. I don't need to explain that.
Google it.
Tokens.
Maybe don't Google it.
It's like, okay, you know how Twitch does bits now? Yeah. They stole that from porn.
Yes.
Right.
Anyway, well, it's live streaming and it's live stream porn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interactive.
All right. So this is Pitchford explains that he's a consumer of this content, is the quote in the Ars article. Which again, I don't give a shit.
I know. I don't want.
Everyone in this room knew what I meant when I said cam girl pornography. So like whatever.
I'm not skeezed out by that. I'm just picturing Randy Pitchford. I don't
whatever.
Want to
Picture me if it makes you feel any better. No. Okay. So he confirmed that he copied a specific video to the memory stick, and I'm just going to read from the Ars article here.
Okay.
Honestly, it's a deep dive into this, and Sam has already done a better job of listening to this stuff than I have. So, this is just directly from the article. He confirmed that he copied a specific video, quote, to this memory stick to, as he describes it, quote, work out the method of how a cam girl host faked the act of female ejaculation.
Allegedly faked.
Fair enough. And then there's a parenthetical here in the article that says, be warned, he describes how the video looks in particularly graphic detail.
He's just trying to figure out her magic trick.
So,
right?
Yes, that is his excuse for this. That is what he's trying to claim here.
Really?
I realized this is not a sex worker, Pitchford said on the show. This is a fucking magician.
Wait, a fucking magician?
Well. A fucking magician. And yes, so Randy Pitchford is a magician. He owns a magic-focused magazine called Genii? Genii? Genii. I think it's just Genii. Yeah. This was before I learned I should probably have password-protected memory sticks, before admitting he had indeed left a flash drive at a medieval times. Some kid, an employee, discovered the memory stick, took it home, found secrets of the company and future in games and development, also discovered the pornography. It was barely legal porn. This girl's handle was only 18.
Oh, it was barely legal. Okay.
The USB flash drive was returned to Gearbox, Pitchford says, in exchange for, some swag and some games and stuff. So they're like, we'll give you some T-shirts.
Really?
Bring
the porn stick. Right?
And know where you live, motherfucker. Say a word.
And then to kind of further this is a long way to go to justify I was looking at perfectly legal pornography.
Yes.
This is a long, long explanation for this stuff in a way that I'm just like, dude, just say, yeah, it's porn. I don't know. Like, it's porn. Who gives a shit? They can't be on legally, these people shouldn't be exposing themselves on a cam girl site if they're not 18. Right. So I think there's a safe assumption there to say this is not underage porn.
Right,
but we don't know the rest of the stuff.
The other stuff
is way fucking more questionable. Yeah.
Which is there's no hard evidence about. That's all hearsay and stuff.
But it's like it's the bit there is that they've got a theater in their house that they run private shows at, and allow people to attend and by invite only and that sort of stuff. And I don't know.
I've never been.
So he claims that the flash drive was returned to the studio while he was out on vacation. So his executive assistant looked at the contents, and there's another quote here. Before I know it, I think the entire office looked at it, and there was one piece of content on here, and it never occurred to any of them that the reason why there was just that single porno was because of the magic trick. Not because of...
Not a single one of them.
Not a single one of them thought that this porn was magic.
My whole thing is magic. Why didn't they know?
That's what I do.
And then later in the podcast, according to Ars Technica, Pitchford suggests putting this only 18 woman on the cover of a future issue of the magazine.
She's that good.
Because she's a magician.
She's a magician.
If you guys find anything weird on my laptop, I just want to go ahead and get it out of the way. I'm studying physics.
Yeah.
And it's all, I'm really interested in the physics of what's happening, and it's like objects in motion stay in motion. I think Einstein said that.
Yep.
And then on Twitter, Pitchford has categorized this as a shakedown that Callender's attempting to shake the company down and shake Pitchford down for more money. Yeah, there was a lot of Twitter stuff around this. David Eddings, who was formerly at Gearbox, just posted something saying like, "Yep, it's true," and then backpedaled on that a little bit and said, "Actually, I think the liar." He says, "Liar, check mark. Con man, check mark. Perv, no idea." So he's saying that the money stuff, which is honestly that stuff's been swirling around Gearbox since the Alien.
And that's the core of the lawsuit. These are all
Marine
details that have kind of come out in the wake of it, right? Like
some of that's just in there. Like the underage porn stuff is an allegation in the countersuit from Callender. So it's become part of this whole mess,
right?
And that stuff, whether it's
stating that the underage porn was on the USB stick?
That seems to be the implication, or at the very least.
I think it would be a much bigger deal if like all the employees had seen the contents of that USB stick. If there was actually underage porn, I would think there would be
this seems like something that would have been dealt with immediately. Yeah. But again, who knows? Like people are scared of their boss. Like sometimes it's maybe they would have been like, oh geez, don't know, don't want to make assumptions there. But my read on this is that his description on this podcast is to explain specifically what this porn was, and that it was not underage porn. It was just porn. But then goes to this like extra length to say, but I was only interested in it because it was magic. Which is like, hey, look, man, sometimes guys get looking at porn, they come up with some fucking bad excuses. But this one might be the worst. Just say, even if that's all true, let's assume that that's all true.
Yep.
And that it was just magic. He wasn't just porn for the sake of porn.
Just magic.
He was just like, this is crazy.
He was scouting for new magical talent.
Yeah. Magicians are out there. We're going to bring you to the Magic Castle. Put on a show.
He needed somebody to put on the cover.
Like,
I get it. Okay.
Assuming all of that is the case, I feel like the shorter, less fucking suspect version of this story is, it was porn.
Yeah.
She was not underage. Like, done. Like this whole further justification makes the whole thing sound way worse.
It does.
Like why are you going to these weird lengths
to do all of this? Like, I don't know.
Going on a podcast the day after the lawsuit was filed, and maybe now I need to listen to this to see how it came up, because that's the weirdest part about it.
Or the only other thing that maybe was it recorded prior to?
Don't know. That's a good question. I don't know that we know that. The episode was posted the day after the lawsuit was filed.
I don't know anything about the size of the podcast. I don't know if
it was all one weird coincidence. I don't actually. So this is I'm just kind of so this is something that now, because of the way that this stuff has gone, Gearbox PR has to issue statements about all of it. Gearbox. Gearbox's statement included a link to the same Piff Pod episode linked earlier in our report, thus apparently endorsing its statements on a corporate level.
Oh my God.
Randy walked up to the social media manager's desk and said, I got this one.
Yeah. Go home for the rest of the day. I'll send this one out. I don't know. And then
their official company stance is, hey, listen to this.
Listen to this. This is magic.
I bet the host of that podcast is really hyped about all this extra traffic.
I don't know. That's maybe he is though. I don't actually know. Maybe I don't know enough about the individual podcast to give you an answer to that. So then it goes on to explain that the Peacock Theater, is
what's the Peacock Theater?
That's the name of his private theater, which is where these peacock parties, which is what the men exposing themselves to underage girls was referred to in the lawsuit.
That's gross. And I'm not laughing at that.
No,
I'm laughing at Peacock parties.
Yeah, and the Gearbox claims that every performance at the Peacock Theater is recorded and invites members of the press to watch any and all of these videos in private for further validation.
I have never gotten an invite to. Damn it.
Well, it sounds like we could. These videos' public release cannot happen without the consent from the performers, the statement says.
Okay.
And ARS says they're going to follow up with their offer to view the videos. Though, look here.
Okay.
If you're running a private theater out of your home in a gated community.
Yeah.
Stuff's gonna go down.
Like, no, that's
It's
not.
gonna happen.
That's no stuff's not going to go down.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm going to say, even if you're sitting there saying like, "Hey, all these performances were recorded,"
Not all of them were.
how's anyone going to know?
Yeah.
It's it's
He's never had a private party that he didn't record.
Whoops, we forgot to turn on the thing. Well, whatever.
There's
Maybe that's all on the up and up. Again, this is just two friends who fell out of favor, suing the shit out of each other through their respective lawyers, and it got nasty immediately. And you want to hope that this stuff is not true because you don't want to hear about people getting exploited like that. And underage. It's just fucking terrible. It's beyond the pale. It's Gearbox, I think, has kind of gone through the ringer in these last several years here, like post Alien. And then you got Randy Pitchford out on Twitter, like saying like, "Hey, look out! I'm being told there's battleborn porn out there," in a way that made it seem like, dude, did you just make this subreddit yourself? Like the whole thing just seemed like, why bring it up? Why bring it up? Why bring it up?
I think he has a habit of bringing up porn.
And I think that's So that's the kind of the weird thing here is that it's not the first time that he's been out there going like, "Hey, porno."
At the time, that seemed to me like, hey, Overwatch porn is huge. What if we get a lot of battleborn porn out there?
That is absolutely what it seemed like.
But now,
the head of the studio,
that mushroom guy
getting out there saying like, "Yeah, that mushroom
he's a
guy.
magician."
You got to put him on the cover." Some of this stuff is baffling because like the lawsuits are what they are, right? It's tragic. It's disgusting in some ways.
Even if it was just about the money, even if it was just, hey, he's diverting $12 million from the company to fund his own private slush fund shit, like that sucks.
Right.
That alone is awful. And then all this stuff in the mix just makes it so, like you said, it's beyond the pale. It's disgusting.
Magic's weird.
Yes, it is. Maybe separately from this, but yes. I am fucking, I guess, like now at this point, like where we're supposed to wrap this up and move on, I'm kind of just fucking speechless. And I don't know where it goes from here. It's already nasty, and these details are fucking disgusting. And you hope it's just over money and a friendship fallout, and not anything more than that. But I feel like a lot of the wriggling around, like let's extra explain this porn away as not just simple porn. That to me, like, and this is just me. That to me says like, oh, there's got to be more to this, because who would do that?
Yeah.
Who would go out of their way to explain that this way, unless there was like something to all that? It's
maybe it wasn't about magic, Jeff.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe it was about money the entire time.
Why would you have to save the whole video?
Because it's easier, like what are you going to get video editing tools and just get down to the 2-second instance of just like, wow, that's a magic trick right there.
Okay, also
it's all about the build up.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about,
it's all about the sleight of hand that leads up to it. There's a whole thing.
How do you, I don't know how cam girl sites work really in depth, but
all right, let's talk about it then.
To my impression, and this could be unfounded, is that it's a live streaming service. It's not like a lot of videos on demand. So does this mean he's recording
potentially
hours and hours and hours of cam girl shit?
I don't know. I will say that I'm pretty sure that some people in that line of work will also separately offer clips for sale,
to
use the actual term, and
because like Twitch VODs is a thing too.
So there are cases where it's like, oh, if you are tipping this amount of money, you'll get access to this tier of additional content, and all this sort of stuff. Basically, it's everything Twitch is doing. A lot of the stuff Twitch is doing came from that world.
Very much.
Even if which look, when Twitch rolled out bits, I was like, and maybe this says more about me. I knew exactly what they were doing. They didn't have to explain it. I was like, oh, okay.
No, Jeff, this is a way to support your favorite content creator.
No, it is. It absolutely is. When Twitch rolls out the ability for a streamer to go private one-on-one with a viewer, we'll know that this is truly, that they have completed the task.
It's not about magic anymore.
Just say it's porn. Just say, oh yeah, I had some legally obtained legal porn.
Yeah.
and stop shaming me for enjoying porn.
I mean,
end of story.
If it's like a specific
but that's the boring
person
story.
streaming, right? Then it should be easy to track said performer down and verify that she's like of legal age.
I did kind of want to look and see.
And like that should be the end of it.
If this performer existed on any one of the numerous sites out there doing this stuff, but
I'm sure she's on Twitch.
Just don't put your porn
it's not,
on work soft hardware.
Get a better keychain.
Get two.
Get two. Get one you keep in your sock.
You get $12 million now. All of a sudden, get a second laptop.
Stop getting so drunk at medieval times. It's not that.
I've never been to medieval times, and I've always wanted to go, and now this is all I will ever think about when medieval times comes up.
Yeah.
That's maybe
they should have a note.
No, that's not. I was about to say that's maybe the saddest thing of all this, but no, we're talking about potentially
that is the saddest thing.
So let's not lose sight of that there's like some of these allegations are fucking dark.
Yes.
And we will see where it all goes.
And if you hear me laughing, it's not about that. Please, I'm not trying to make light of that.
It's such an absurd situation.
The magic
from the six-pack abs
the
to
six-pack
on down.
abs, the magic
I forgot about
yeah,
all
no,
that.
exactly.
He
Like
wanted
that stuff
guns
just
and a
fades to the
six-pack.
background of just like the lawyer got sued first because he wanted gun lessons and sick abs.
Wasn't there like a politician that like got sued or went to jail because he used government money for Steam?
Oh,
For
the vaping
Steam.
senator.
The vaping center. God.
I don't know how that story ended or if it has ended yet, but yes, there was problems with him buying games on Steam.
Like $1,200.
Wait for the sale. Come on, it's taxpayers' money. Wait for a Steam sale at least. At least.
I use campaign contributions for Steam.
Yeah,
That's it.
I think using campaign contributions for whatever you want these days is apparently it's just fucking open season on it. So what are you gonna do?